from ITSC department. I'm going to take a session of the subject that is computer vision. The subject code is 31716114. The module that we are going to cover is unit number 4, that is module number 4, segmentation. In that, the topic that we are going to cover for this session is active contours. So basically we have already done what is active contours, and in that we have defined 3 types of active contours. In that, the last lecture we have discussed the first one. So the 2 of the levels which are left for the active contours we are going to study in this session, starting with the second module of active contours, that is scissors. So basically active contours allows a user, that is to roughly specify a boundary of what of interest that you want to take from a particular image, and have the system evolve the contour that is towards a more accurate location as well as track it over the times. So the result of this curve that we are getting, it means the evolution that we are doing for a curve, however may be unpredictable and may require additional user based hints to what, to achieve the desired result. So an alternative approach to this that we have done is optimizing the contour, where in real time as well as we can say as the user is drawing, how the user is drawing it by hand, taking it that in the form and optimizing it, that is in the contour form, and making it a real approach. Okay, optimization in terms of the drawing that the user does. So the intelligent scissors, that is been system that is developed by Modson and Barrett, does just that we are talking about right now. Okay, so basically scissors are what, as the user draws a rough outline, okay, as shown here, I am showing you as in figure here right now, the system computes and draws a better curve that will be clings to high contrast edges. Now how high contrast edges means, with respect to the contrast of the boundary value, we are just making it particular different. Okay, that is means I am giving an example with an orange curve here, as you can see in the diagram. The image is being defined, okay, means the mouse will trace what, the white path as it is defined, means circle it will made for a particular object, and the scissors will follow the orange path, okay, along the object boundary. Means we have to only take the object boundaries. So we will just take the object of the boundary, that means we will just circle the object, okay, with respect to the curve which is defined, and the orange line which is been showing here, okay, with the path that it will follow. So these are the things that we will be following it with respect to any of the object, okay, and we are taking the object boundary into consideration, and the contrast of the boundary images will be done. So with respect to that, we can say to compute the optimal curve path, means the curve path that is there in the object, that is live wire, the image is first pre-processed, what, to associate low cost, that is with edges, that is links between the neighboring horizontal, vertical and diagonal, that is N8, that is neighbors. N8 means if I am taking a pixel, then 8 of the neighboring pixels that we are considering. 2 diagonals means 4 values, 2 right hand sides and 2 top bottom. Okay, right left, top bottom 4 positions, and the 2 diagonals. So 8 neighbors. So this is what, how a particular edge or a particular pixel is defined with the 8 neighboring, that is N8 neighbors that are likely to be boundary elements. We can say it's a boundary. Means if I am considering one pixel, the 8 neighboring elements will be there. So N8 neighbors will be considered with respect to the boundary. So their system uses a combination of zero crossing, that is gradient magnitudes, and also the gradient orientations to compute this cost. Okay, so whenever next we can say as the user traces a rough curve, we can say the system continuously recomputes what, the lowest cost path from where, from the starting seed point and the current mouse location, which is it is already there, using what, so we are having many algorithms like discrete trace algorithm that you already learned in the DA. Okay, that is design of algorithms, and a breadth first, that is dynamic programming algorithm, that we can say that has to be targeted at the current target location. So this is how a particular tracing of a user is being done in order to find out its trace. Okay, in a rough curve we can say we can compute it from the lowest cost path, from the starting seed point and the current mouse location. So we have to reach from the seed point to the current location. Now for reaching the path we need to have some algorithm. So here that is example is given as discrete trace algorithm that you have already learned in DA, okay, and a breadth first dynamic programming algorithm that we have to reach the target location. So in order to keep the system that is from jumping around unpredictably from one position to another, that is the system will freeze the curve. To date, after a period of inactivity, means we have done the curve path, we have already find out the rough image form, and after that we are locking it, we are freezing the curve, so that if it is inactive also, then also the curve will be there. Okay, so to prevent the line wire that is from jumping into adjacent, that is higher contrast contours, the system also learns that the intensity that is profile under the current optimized curve, we can say that we are working it, and uses this to preferentially, that is keep the wire moving along the same boundary that we are looking for. Okay, the same boundary along with it we are finding the live curve, that is we are just stopping, we are preventing it, so that the live wire that we are taking it will not jump from one higher position to high contrast contours, that it should not do that. So that we have to maintain the intensity profile also for the current optimized curve that we are doing. So we can see an example, like we are having an example like regular scissors can sometimes be relating the boundary, as you can see here in the diagram itself. That is incorrect boundary, we can say that the curve is not correct because the boundary line is coming, the curve path that we are taking is coming inside the boundary. Okay, another that we are having after training to the previous segment, that is similar, we can say edge profiles are preferred, we can say that now the correct boundary will be made. It was zigzag, as you can see in the first diagram, it is not particular, it's not correct, but in the second diagram, as you can see, it's a particular boundary frame is given. Okay, by after the training process that been already been done for in order to trace the curve. Okay, so this is what the things are whenever we are taking into consideration the profiles of what, of the different curves that we are taking. So next, as the user traces a rough curve, we already know the system will continuously recompute the lowest cost path, that is between the starting seed point and the current mouse location, that we have already seen using discrete algorithm. So breadth first, that is dynamic programming algorithm that terminates at the current target location will also be finding out. So in order to keep the system from jumping around, that is unpredictable, it will freeze the curve. So prevent this love from, that is from adjacent to higher contrast, it will learn the intensity profile that we have already discussed in the last slide as well, and the diagram that I have shown you. So the active contours, that is the level sets, the next of the path of the active contours. Now we will discuss that, the third portion. So a limitation, we can say, of the active contours based on the parametric curve that we have already seen of the form, that is f of s. We have already seen the snakes. Okay, we have not seen the varieties, that is bee snakes and condensation, but we have seen what a snake property is that it is challenging that the topology of the curve which follows the topology, it as it evolves, it is not changing. Okay, that is the drawback, we can say it's a limitation. So furthermore, if the shape changes dramatically, okay, going from one position to another position, the curve reparameterization may also be required, it can be required. So as an alternative representation for such closed contours, it is easy, or we can say it is using a level set, means a leveling, where the zero crossing of a characteristic, that is a sign distance function, defines the curve. Okay, so a level set that involves to fit and track the objects of interest that we are taking it by modifying what, the underlying embedded function that we have, that is another name of the 2D function, that is psi of x and y, to position row and column instead of the, that is the sum, that is the curve f of s, that snake we are taking it. The snake function parameter also we have defined it. So instead of that, we are taking psi function, that is x and y, which is known as the level set. Okay, which will fit and track the objects of interest, that is by modifying the underlying embedded equations, or we can say functions. So to reduce the amount of computation that is required, only a small strip, we can say frontier, around the location of the current zero crossing needs, it has to be updated at each step if we want to compute the total required time that we have. Okay, so which will results in what, that are called fast, that is we can say marching methods. So an example of this, that is evolution equation, is the geodesic active contour that is proposed by Kessels, as we can see here, d phi by d phi by dt, which is equals to, that is delta of phi, okay, that is division div derivative of, that is g of phi, delta of phi upon modulus of delta of phi, which will be defined of, we will replacing the delta of phi with the g of phi, okay, because the gradient is defined. So g of phi of delta of phi, it will be into it with the gradient also, and the division operator as it is with respect to g of phi upon modulus of phi. So it will come outside. G of I is have been committed outside. It will be into with the delta of I. So delta of I upon modulus of delta of I plus, because we are intoing both the terms, so G of I into delta of I. Both the terms will be into with the inside term. So we'll get this product. Okay. So whenever we are talking about G of I, so G of I is the generalized version of the snake edge potential, because we are basically using the formula of which we have derived in the snake as well. So to get an intuitive sense of the curve's behavior, we will assume that the embedding function, that is psi, is a sine distance function away from the curve, in which the case that is psi is equal to 1. So level set evolution for a geodesic active contour, we can say the embedding function, that is phi, which is defined in this diagram with the three of the forms, okay, blue curve, then red curve, and the blue curve, where the three of the function is defined with G of I and delta of I. Okay, now initially when you are seeing the red line, okay, red of the line with the arrows, you can see that the phi equal to 0 position. Means phi equal to 0, it will be totally slantly straight. Okay, means smooth structure it will be. And when we are comparing with the two of the parameters, that the delta of phi, that is will be equal to -1 value and +1 value, two of the parameters. Okay, highest value and lowest value. Okay, you can see that the curve slants somewhere in the right or slants somewhere in the left. Okay, so this is what we can say, it's a level set evolution. We can say for a geodesic, that is active contours, the embedding function phi is updated, which is based on the curvature of what? The underlying surface, which is already being modulated by the edge, you can say, or the speed function, that is G of I, which is defined. So as well as we can say that the gradient of the G of I, thereby it will be attracting it to the strong edges. G of I, as you can see, it will be like it is coming smooth if I'm taking the middle value, but if I'm going above and below, it is it is slanting, it is changing with respect to the delta of phi. So this is what the thing is whenever we are setting the level set, okay, which is defined with a particular level with the three of the parameters, that is phi equal to 0, phi equal to +1, and phi equal to -1. Okay, so active contours, we can say the first term in the equation that is defined will move the curve in the direction of the curvature, that is it will act to straighten, that is the curve, under the influence of the modulation function, that is G of I. Second term that we will be finding out will move the curve down the gradient of G of I, that it will be encouraging the curve to migrate towards the minima of G of I. So these are the two of the level sets which is defined in order to particular form. Now the applications of the, we can say, active contours are contour tracking and rotoscoping. Okay, so active contours can be used in a wide variety of object tracking applications. Many object tracking means whenever we want to track the object with some applications, we are using active contours technology. So for example, they can be used to track facial features for performance driven animation, we can say that. They can also be used to track heads and people as well as the moving vehicles. The additional applications include like medical image segmentation, where contours can be tracked from slice to slice in a computerized tomography, that is 3D image, that is medical imaging over the time, as well as ultrasound scans. Okay, so an interesting application that is closer to computer animation and the visual effect is rotoscoping. Rotoscoping is defining the word animation, which uses the tracked contours to deform a set of hand-drawn animations. So the scientist that has been defined, that is Agrawal and Hertzman, with many more authors as well, that is ETL, many more authors which is included in that. In 2004, presents a system that is based on tracking hand-drawn B-spline curve, that is contours, drawn at a selected keyframes. So using a combination of geometric and appearance-based criteria, we have many of the forms which are available in animation itself, where rotomation is being used. So they are providing an excellent review of previous rotoscoping, and we can see image-based contour tracking. Here you can see an example like original frame it is. Okay, we are just changing the color with respect to the contour value. How we will be changing it? We are using the application that is rotoscoping. So rotoscope contour, we will be selecting the boundary line edges where we want to change the color. Okay, so here we are recoloring it. Okay, that means we are changing from white to pink. We are changing the color of the top. The woman is appearing it. So rotoscope, the hand-drawn animation that can be seen here, as you can see here, it will be like we are drawing it in a hand form, as you can see here. It is shown in the diagram. So these are the applications that active contours have with respect to tracking, and we can say rotoscoping. So rotoscoping is a very demanding and very high used application which is used in contour applications. Okay, so this is what the thing are that we have done about the active contours, and here the topic active contours is the coverage. The next topic we are going to learn in the next session. Thank you.